Hey guys, it's Tristan here from ZebraInvest, and today I'm sitting down with Rachel Trafton. She calls herself the solopreneur, but I think one of the main bits people forget is when you start getting into property investment and building out your portfolio, that actually you're getting into building your own business. And whether you want that to be a small business, a big business, you've got to start somewhere, and actually you've got to get all your ducks in a line and get it all sorted, because as I've seen, it can get in a bit of a mess. I've got it all sorted and got myself a great accountant now. But I'll hand it over to you, and you can give us a few hints and tips along the way.
Well, a solopreneur is basically someone who works for themselves, by themselves. Now, that can be with a collection of remote contractors, or you could be doing the whole thing yourself. But the problem is you cannot scale and grow to the same degree as someone who perhaps has got 10 people sitting in an office. So you do have to adapt your systems and processes to work for yourself. But that's where the fun comes in, because a solopreneur, I think, particularly in property, you meet every single different kind of neurodivergent or ordinary person you can possibly meet. But every single person will have a different way of approaching paperwork, IT, accounting, the way they think of money. So if you are a solopreneur, you can build your business to fit you, and you don't have to have every single piece of CRM software or anything else that everyone is saying.
About an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, absolutely. Some people love an Excel, but other people will be just working off their zeros and everything else. Or a notepad. Yeah, absolutely. It's up to you, and that is what a solopreneur needs to remember. But I know that one of the things we were talking about earlier was the fact that you can come away from a training course with a whole raft of notes about how many numbers you should do, 100 calls a week, and that's not including, 30 viewings and the rest of it. It's not physically possible to do all that if there's only one of you.
Yeah.
And if you've got a family, or you've got children, or even walking a dog will eat into your time. So as a solopreneur, you've got to know what the art of the possible is, or you are going to burn out and it's all going to go horribly wrong.
I always remember being told I needed, with my deal packs of research, I need 120 different pieces of information. There's so many phone calls from everyone else. I'm like, blooming heck, that's overload. Yes. But actually, it's one of those bits is at the very beginning, and you're running a business and whatever else, you need to be getting your figures, your numbers, your business absolutely correct. So I think at the very beginning, if you are spending a bit more time and a bit more effort and all the more calls,
and you make your templates so that you don't get sucked into using somebody else's methods to create something for you, so that you know which bits work for you, what your clients want, and then you can just literally bang them out. You get faster and faster and faster at it, which is what you need to be able to do.
I said a bit, with solopreneur, for me, I think I kind of sat there and I thought originally, I was like, I just want to work for myself. I want to have my own choice. Yep. I want to do my own thing. And I think everyone's got different reasons for doing it. But what's the main one? What was your one?
Oh, well, I had a husband and a family we moved 19 times in 23 years. So I couldn't have an ordinary job. And I also knew I couldn't have a pension, so I needed to be able to build a business that worked for me and I could move around with it. And a business that would give me complete flexibility. So if I wanted to do 12 hours in the middle of the night, I could. Or if I wanted to work, Monday this week, not Monday next week, I can do it.
Yeah.
Up to me.
Well, I know, because I think some people definitely start doing, so for example, service accommodation or rent to rent. They're like, oh yeah, I want to try and get out of my job. And it's like, no.
They create their own jobs. That's not being a solopreneur. Yeah, that's not being a solopreneur. That's just creating another job where you are the manager.
And a lot of headaches as well.
Yes, absolutely. And a solopreneur should be paying themselves. And first.
I agree with that. Yeah, most definitely. So how did you break it down for your goals, or did you do goals and objectives initially?
Oh, yeah, I did. I just knew, I knew how long it was going to take me. And then I worked and broke it all down. But, what people always look at me at this end of my property journey, to use a horrid phrase, and I never reveal just how many properties I have. But as you alluded to in one video, I have a lot of businesses that work off other properties and things. But in the first year, I only bought one house. Second year, I only bought one house.
Yeah.
And then boom. And then didn't buy anything for a couple of years. And then I did some flips, and then I sold a few, and then I bought some more. And then, and then you've got behind the scenes, you're renovating and you're updoing. So it's never quite what you imagine. But it is about knowing that in 20 years' time, I want this number of properties or this amount of money being thrown off them. That's what you're aiming for.
Yeah, because I've very much done it with, I have a vision board on my wall, which is something that gets touted out.
Oh, I love a vision board.
And I've got it up, and I love water skiing. And so on the back of my water, so I've got a water ski boat on the side of it. I enjoy skiing and various other bits. There's all these things to remind you, why am I doing it? What are we trying to do? Where are we trying to go with it? And actually, even if it's like, as you were saying about, if you were deal sourcing, you might just say, actually, I'd like it so I have an extra holiday a year.
Yes.
Well, how many deals is an extra holiday a year?
Yep.
Or,
it is. This equals that. Yes. And I like to be able to have lunch every day and take the dogs for a walk. And, if you're working for somebody else, you can't. And nor do I want to be feeding other people with jobs.
This is where it's managing your own time as well.
Yes. I do have people who do work for me contractually, but they're all professionals. I don't have to tell them how to do their job.
Yeah.
And even those who are, slightly unusual, graphic designers and whatnot, I give them a brief and off they go.
You hope it comes back all right.
Yeah, but then it's a case of tweaking it. But what I don't want to do is to have to walk into an office every morning and think, oh my word, I'm paying these people money. What have I got to do with them?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So,
that's empire building.
So when it comes to kind of networking, reaching out, meeting other people, how have you done that? Because obviously, I know we met through Norwich Property Meet down at Halstow's PPM in Ipswich. I think you've been a bit to every single event I imagine on the East Coast.
Oh, well, I have.
And further.
I go all over the country, either speaking or just attending. And I think if you are a solopreneur, you've got to market yourself. And you've got to get over your fear of being obvious. So I know you usually are sort of somewhat flamboyantly attired in a zebra print. Absolutely, zebra prints. Well, that's obvious. I don't usually look much different to this, so I do tend to get recognised as the girl in pearls. But this is it. I go to places. I will often, first time I'm there, I'm usually quite quiet because actually what I'm doing is working out who's who in the room, who do I want to speak to. I'm brutal, it's all about me. And then I will go and find out who's doing what the second and third time I go to a meet. And if the meeting doesn't serve me for a purpose, I will not go to it again.
Yeah.
But those I like going to, I go time and time again.
Hopefully you start coming back smiling.
I know. It's a Friday and I've had so many weddings this year.
But I think one of the bits is like people forget that with being a solopreneur, you end up being a professional as well.
Yes, you have to be. It's no good expecting the bumbling along. Mr. Bumble doesn't sell properties. Mr. Bumble doesn't get paid for his deals. Bumblers and those who just don't really know their stuff get ripped off in the end. Yeah.
I've definitely seen that. I've seen people who've gone out there, tried buying deals from other people, not really knowing what they're doing, where they're going. And actually, because they just, rather than trying to focus on your goal or your business or what you want your business to be, they're kind of, we'll try that, we'll try that, we'll try that. And actually, none of it's worked out.
No.
And I think when I started and kicked it all off, I was doing 1-beds to 2-bed flats and they were to be flipped. And my goal was if I flipped those, and then I did that for a little while, and then I was like, oh, well, actually, I'm focusing on small family houses. So then I started doing those and just focusing and staying one lane.
Yeah, one lane. It may sound boring, but it brings in the result. Yes.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much. Cheers for sitting down and going through us about solopreneur. If anyone does want to catch up with Rachel's podcast, you can jump on over to Spotify, Apple, or wherever else you listen, and you can find the solopreneur on there. And if anyone's got any questions or comments, just drop them in below. And hope you like this video and subscribe to the channel to hear more. Thank you.